What's up BJJ fans, and of course the BJJ stands for Blind Judo Journey. It's the morning of the North Yorkshire Fighting Festival, which I'm competing in. I'm going to be fighting 81 kilos, which I currently am, which is really nice because I actually get to have a little bit of breakfast, which is quite a luxury on competition days for me sometimes. So my weight loss journey is going well. I have looked at the entry lists. I don't think there's anyone on the list who I'm not going to be able to beat on a good day, and I'm feeling fresh, so I'm going into this hoping for gold. Obviously, you can't always get what you want, but I think I'm going to come out of here with a gold. This is my first time competing as a second dan. So I got my second dan a few months ago, my first time competing. I'm actually the only second dan in the competition, having looked at the entry lists. More importantly, having looked at the entry list, the guy who beat me at the last competition that I went to, go and watch the video, Para Potential Plus YNH Judo competition, which was my first win in a downgrade competition. So I got gold at that competition, but I did still lose a fight, and I lost to someone who I fought before. I think he's going to be at this competition, and I really want to beat him so I can prove that I'm getting better, improving, learning from my mistakes, because I lost that fight because I made a stupid mistake and went for an Uranaki when I shouldn't have. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to the comp. So I'm back for the competition now. I'm filming outside because I spent all day in a warehouse and me and my dad just wanted to come outside for a bit. So after we registered and I got weighed in, we found out that I was in a category of 5 people. It would be a round robin of all people who are under 81 kilos. There was a weight allowance, that's why I was 81.2, because I was wearing trousers. So going into my first fight, I got told about 10 minutes before that I was going to be fighting, so I went and ran and warmed up kind of thing. Just, there wasn't a very big warm-up space, so I did what I could, but it was boiling hot, we were already warm. Just make sure to do some stretches, get myself limbered up so I don't end up pulling something. In my first fight, didn't know anything about him, never seen him fight before. He hadn't fought anyone early in the day, so I was going in completely blind. Before every fight, I like to say, Spitfire, because if I was in World War II, they'd call me Spitfire. Let's take a look at my first fight. Sadly, my opponent got injured in this fight. Sometimes it's unavoidable. If you look at the footage and speaking to him afterwards and a couple of other people, I didn't do anything wrong. It was just a bit of I think he tweaked his knee. He was okay walking around afterwards, so it was nothing super major, but he did then pull out of the competition very sadly, so I hope he's okay. Again, you never go into a fight expecting to injure someone. No one wants to injure each other. That's why we're all here, to have a good time and keep each other safe, and also we want these beautiful lip-ons, and that sadly wasn't one of them. So moving on to my second fight. This guy was left-handed. I've been working a lot on my right on left recently. It's been going really well. I was actually quite excited because when we gripped up, he said, "Is it okay if I grip left?" And I said, "Yeah, of course, man." So we started right on left, and it gave me the opportunity to practice some of the techniques that I've really been putting into practice recently. I can't talk about those too much because I don't want to give away my secrets on this channel, but it's something I've really been working on, and I implemented it very well.
Go mouth! Oh, he bombed!
You know where your stuff is?
Yeah, that was good. That went well, obviously. I took a grip. He was left-handed, which is nice. So, pretty happy with myself for that. That's quite quick. So, like I said, I thought it was Rosari, you know, on the day. One ref would give it Rosari, one ref would give it Ippon. There was no VAR in this particular comp, so it was what the ref gave at the time. So maybe I got a bit lucky, but I think I was in control and had a good strong grip, control of the movement for the rest of the fight. So I think I still was pretty happy with my go in this fight. Maybe it wasn't the best throw in the world. It was some kind of Harayo Soto variant, but it doesn't have to be beautiful judo that wins fights. You just need to put the guy on the floor. Going into my third fight, this is the fight that I was really excited and worried and anxious about, because this is the guy who beat me in the last competition I did. Didn't see it, it was the Yorkshire and Humberside Open in Goole. I picked him up to go for a uranagi or a suplex, and he hooked my leg, and I basically just threw myself on my back. So going into this fight, I was hopeful that I could beat him, but obviously he's beaten me before, so never count your chickens. But I was still pretty confident going into it.
Well, I had 3 people behind me saying, "Oh, that was on the neck." Oh.
Taking the grips, felt pretty strong. I controlled the movement. This is the first time that we actually got Mate called on me, so I actually had to do multiple exchanges in this fight, so already it's my hardest fight of the day. He did a good job of stopping my Makikomi attempt in the first exchange. In the second exchange, I'm gonna be honest, like I said after the fight, that's one of the best throws I've ever done in a competition. I just felt like his posture, he was pushing into me, I kind of leant into him at one point, he pushed back, so I felt like I could get that reaction. As I did that, drop underneath him for the drop Tsunagi, end up being a beautiful throw.
With a big thud.
With a big thud, apparently. I always say it's not a real Ippon unless it echoes.
And a lot of audience recognition of that as well.
Yes, I did get a lot of congratulations after that. So I was really proud of that. I think that was my highlight of the day, really. Finally, going into my last fight, always the most anxious one for me, because I know that this is me fighting for gold. It could either be silver or gold, and I really want to go home with gold, obviously. I've seen this guy fight earlier. He seems pretty good. He was seeming a bit tired earlier in the day, so part of me was going, oh, I should try and take him a bit longer into the fight, but then you also have the idea of what's the point in making it a really long fight when I've already shown that my earlier fights were quite quick, so maybe I should just try and do my judo. Basically what I'm saying, don't change your plan on the day. If you can go out there and do your judo and it's effective, don't try and change it just because of what you've been seeing earlier in the day.
Be careful! Uchimata! Nothing. Mate! Mate! Mate!
Keep working, come on.
Come on, he's already dead, Mouse. Oh, look at Come on, Mouse. Good man. OG. Oh, go.
I just did a backflip.
Yeah, you got some kudos for that as well, actually. Yeah, he scared you with that though, didn't he?
He switched sides on me. But I had to make sure I readjust, but it went well though, went well.
Yeah, well done. You read it quickly, that was good.
Yeah, I got to readjust.
But to be fair, he was putting his attacks in as soon as he could.
Because he switched, and then I was like, okay, need to control high collar.
Yeah.
And I was scared because he seemed like he wanted to hit me with his hanny or the uranagi, so I was scared of doing these big throws. He's got the deep grip.
Because he was in the right place.
Yeah, and I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, well,
Gold medal.
yeah, and you had to. It was a big throw in the end, but you had to because he was staying off. Yeah, jigger tie, and that's how you beat them when the jigger tie.
Yeah, really proud of that.
Well done, mate.
Amazing.
Right, I've got to go. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I'll invite you if that's okay.
I'll be back in a few weeks.
Excellent, lovely.
2 golds. 2 golds. Oxford Judo.
Killed it, man.
No.
So in the first exchange, I mean, I did a backflip. I was very scared because he switched to a left-handed stance, and I had to readjust, change my grips. Ended up still being able to control it, but as I turned in, I felt like he was trying to go for a Tanya Toshi or an uranagi, and so when he came in for it, I was not so much ready for it, but expecting it. That's why I was able to twist out and do the almost backflip that I did. Once I was on the ground in turtle, I was easily able to hold onto my lapel for him not to be able to take the Judo Gatami.
Also, a lot of audience recognition for your athleticism there.
Yeah, I did get a lot of people saying, oh wow, must have done some gymnastics, which obviously if you see any of my shorts, you know that I have. Into the second exchange, I now knew that he was going to try and switch to this left-handed stance, so I tried to then make sure that I was coming up the collar to get a much higher collar grip as he turned in, so I was able to control the movement, keep my elbow down so that he wasn't able to come in for those Tanyatoshis or Inagi counters. His posture was very jigatai, very defensive, he was very low down, which gave me the opportunity to come over for a belt grip. Not something I've ever done in competition before. I'm actually really proud of myself for doing this because only about 3 days ago, I taught a class on belt grips and using them to do huge hip throws such as Tsurugoshi, which I then did in the fight. I, held by the belt, waited for the reaction, bring my hips all the way across, absolute massive ippon. That was actually the final fight of the day. It was the only one going on at the time as well, so I've had fights before where I've been the final fight of the day and I've lost it, and it always feels a bit rubbish because everyone in the room is watching you, especially when you're visually impaired, everyone's watching your fights, ironically. But I was really proud of myself to take that win and be gold medalist at this comp.
Miles Solomon.
And left, right. Well done, Miles.
So, that was my first gold, where I won every single fight in a sighted competition, in a Dangro competition. Pretty proud of that, to be fair, and I think I got 2 of my best throws I've ever had. So, yeah, really proud, really proud. So, that's it from this video. If you want to follow me on my blind judo journey into international visually impaired judo, please make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Soramade.